Good evening and welcome to some Friday night action of PIHANA hockey. As we are at the RBC Center here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, as the Boston Yachts come into town to take on the Toronto Royals. We are ready at the face-off. Anderson against Kawaguchi. And Anderson will win it back. It'll come to Backlov. He'll have it in his own zone, get it up to Josiah Stevens. Stevens coming across the line, shot, gloved by Belotis. Goalies tonight, we will have Zigmars Belotis in for Toronto and Benny Sobel cross ice from him in net for Boston. Toronto entering the game second place in the Canada division, sitting, 6 points back of Montreal after their win last night. Win will allow them to keep pace and still just be a game back of them. Olsen now to the corner. Kawaguchi behind the net. Up front to Jeremiah. He'll lose it to Anderson. As for Boston, they find themselves near the bottom of the America division. Shot just goes wide by King. They're just ahead of Chicago at the moment in the America division. Kawaguchi cross ice to Olsen. He'll flip it down. Braun the first one on. He'll get it to Anderson to Stevens. Stevens will turn, get it to Backlov, up to King. King now across the red line. He'll enter the zone, almost turns it over. Anderson can't get the shot away. Alex Anderson now with it for Toronto to Jeremiah. Jeremiah enters the zone. His teammates will go off for a change. It'll be Braun behind the net for Boston. He'll get it up to O'Shea. Nick O'Shea flips it down low. First one on it'll be Johansson. Johansson pressed to the boards there by Christensen. Schvital loses it for a sec, but gets it down low to Christensen. Shot by O'Shea, and it's stopped by Belotis. Zigmars Belotis. The good season so far. He still has the only shutout in the PIHANA season thus far. Had a couple of close calls. Jake Zavina for Montreal giving up 1 goal last night, and then a couple of 2-goal performances. Eddie Salo giving up 2 late for Minnesota. It's another stop there by Belotis. Johansson up to Arvidsson. Cross ice, it'll be Marshall. Cade Marshall, Finn Ostergaard. Ooh, and a blocker save there by Benny Sobel. It'll be Schvital behind the net. He'll get hit by Arvidsson. Comes free to Olav Antonisson. Antonisson up to Christensen. Christensen will dump it down deep. First one on it is Alex Anderson. Up to Arvidsson. Ostergaard to the red line, and he'll dump down. As he and his line mates will go off for a change. Antonisson gets it up to Vinogradov, up to Cherry. Cherry gets it poked away. Lane Allard on it for Toronto. He'll get it over to Johansson. Cross ice to Alex Anderson. He's bumped there. Good physicality on the forecheck there by O'Shea. It'll be Lane Allard up to Demian Fetisov. He'll lose it. First one to it is Nick O'Shea. Fetisov, Antonisson, battle there. It'll come free to Nick O'Shea. Nil Vinogradov tries to get it out, and it's taken away. Fetisov back to Alex Anderson. Over to Johansson. Cross ice to Fetisov. Cousins can't get the shot away. It'll be Nolan Cherry on it for Boston. Nolan Cherry will dump it in from the near boards. It'll come all the way to Johansson on the opposite corner. Up to Allard. Boston back and ready. Medved, opportunity in. Oh, and it gets sticked away at the last second by Vinogradov. Allard pressed to the boards by Adolfsson. Allard will kick it there and then be the first one to it. Out in front, Medved had an opportunity on Sobel, and he stops that one. Kicks it to the corner to Antonisson. Adolfsson up to Jordan. Brandon Jordan across the line for Boston. He'll lose it for a second, get it right back. Adolfsson, shot, blocked away. Alex Anderson to Medved. Medved gets the red line and dumps it down. Darren Long in on the forecheck. Will hit there. Cherry now at the benches. He'll get it up to Stevens. They got a 2-on-1 with Jordan. Shot, stopped by Belotis. Stevens and Jordan had an opportunity there. Zigmars Belotis comes up with the save. So we will have a face-off down in the Toronto zone. It'll be Marshall against Anderson. Cade Marshall wins it back. Goodman Svensson gets to the red line, gets it to Ostergaard. To Marshall in the slot. Shot, gloved by Sobel. Benny Sobel with a good glove stop. Nearing 9 minutes gone here in the first period. We are scoreless here in Toronto. Marshall again against Anderson. And it'll be one back by Anderson. Joubert up to King. King to Stevens. And it'll just come out of the zone as King tried to rush in to keep it. So we will come outside the zone. Marshall again against Anderson. One by Anderson. Joubert over to King. King gets it knocked away. It'll be Ostergaard first on it. He'll come in along the wing, dump it back to Svensson. Cross ice Thibault. Ostergaard down low. Can't get the shot away. Marshall up to Thibault. Thibault will try to dump it down. First one on it is Joubert. Joubert up to Stevens for Boston. They'll look to enter the zone. Stevens and Arvidsson will fight for it there. Stevens now comes with it, gets to the middle. Dale Kolar coming down the zone, blocked away. King at the dots, gets it to Kolar, the defenseman, down low in the play, and he's tripped up there by Arvidsson. And Thibault will touch it there. So Walter Arvidsson will head to the box. Called for the penalty. So now power play, first one of the evening here for Boston, as it will be Fetisov against Vital. It'll be taken away by Boston. Shot stopped by Belotis. Bowman now with the behind the net, and he will flip it out. Boston on the season at 16% on the power play. Toronto on the kill at about 71%. Fetisov gets it knocked away there. Vital up to O'Shea. O'Shea across the red line, entering the zone now. On the man advantage, he's bodied there by Johansson. Johansson tries to get it out, but O'Shea picks it up in the slot. Glove stopped by Belotis. O'Shea just gets the shot away before being pounded there in the slot, but is still a good glove stop by Zigmars Belotis. Minute 12 left here on the power play. King gets it back to Joubert. Anderson down the slot, in front, and a good pad stop there by Belotis. They try to set up Stevens. Stevens now out in front. Oh, and it gets taken away. Svensson will flip it out of the zone. Under a minute left here on the power play for Boston. Joubert, first one back on it for Boston. He'll go for the stretch pass to Stevens at the red line. Stevens now enters. Stevens taken out there by Johansson. And Alexanderson, swoops in and will get it down. Marshall pesters him there. Joubert up to Anderson. Anderson goes to the corner, gets it poked away for a sec. King out in front. Jordan! And it's stopped by Belotis. It gets behind him, but he's able to hold on and get the call. Anderson will take on Fetisov in the draw. Anderson wins it back. Joubert, glove stop by Belotis. And he will hold there. Fetisov again will take on Schvital in the dot. Schvital wins it back to Christensen in the slot. Gets it blocked away. O'Shea will fight for it in the corner against Johansson. Johansson kicks it behind the net. First one on, it'll be Schvital for Boston. Penalty is over. We are back to 5-on-5. Nick O'Shea with the one-timer, and it's knocked away by the blocker of Ziggy Belotis. Vinogradov for Boston keeps it in at the line. Vinogradov down the slot, gets it blocked away. Johansson now will come out of the zone. Tries to, gets it picked off. Arvidsson now finally on it for Toronto. They will get it out of the zone and enter their own zone, or enter the Boston zone, Arvidsson pressed to the boards in the corner. Fetisov looking to come free. Gets a high to Johansson. Johansson picked off by O'Shea as he was trying to get it across ice to Arvidsson. Cherry met at the line by Johansson. He'll get it cross ice to Ostergaard. Ostergaard to Fetisov, and he's tripped. Josiah Stevens, it looks like. No, Isaac Christensen, will be guilty of the trip there. Demian Fetisov. So a power play upcoming. Looks like they're going to send the second unit out there first. So DJ Costa will go up against Ingolf Adolfsson in the dot. Cade Marshall for Toronto wins it back. Thibault gets it blocked down by Backlov in front. Backlov with a good stick, able to knock it out of the air. First one on it will be Thibault. Up to Marshall. Marshall to Ostergaard. They'll enter the line. Slap shot. Looks like it snapped his twig on the way in as well. So Sawa, as it goes wide, will just glove it there and hold it on the side. So now after a little break, they'll get the top unit out there. Kawaguchi against Anderson. It'll be one back by Calvin Anderson. Oh, but Kawaguchi intercepts. Jeremiah tried to get it over to Arvidsson and couldn't get it through. Petrick now will get away with it for Boston. First one on it will be Kawaguchi for Toronto. He'll sprint up. Jeremiah bumped off the puck there at the blue line. Kawaguchi now. Kawaguchi down the center. Arvidsson to Kawaguchi. Goes behind the net. Arvidsson shot stopped by Sabel. And he will glove. Oh no, he keeps the play going. And Tonison will flip it into his own bench. Guys stick their hands up trying to stay away. And look at Antonison wondering, what the heck are you doing? We're on your team, fella. What are you doing? Anyway, we will go back to the second unit with just 49 seconds left here on the power play. Costa against Anderson in the dot. And Costa wins it to Marshall. Back to Johansson. Slap shot glove by Sabel. And he will hold there. So again, this second group out there for Toronto. He will face off against Ingolf Adolfsson. Costa wins it back to Johansson. Cross ice to Ostergaard. At the point, Svensson. Now Johansson will walk down from the wing. Shot! Knocked away. Marshall now behind the net. Gets it out front to Costa, and it's poked back to Marshall. Marshall up to Johansson. To the wing to Ostergaard. Back up to Johansson at the point. Slap shot. Goes wide. And now pressed to the boards there is Joubert as he will get it out. 10 seconds now left on the power play. Svensson, first one on it for Toronto. He'll try to go the 200 feet. Get it in the zone before they get back to even strength. And we are back right as Ostergaard enters the zone. Backlov takes it away, and Joubert will end up with it for Boston. Up to Stevens. Josiah Stevens waiting for reinforcements. Gets hit there. Johansson up to Costa. Costa gets it knocked away there. Calvin Anderson on it now for Boston. Up to Backlov. Up to Stevens. Josiah Stevens will turn. Get it to Joubert. Joubert to Anderson. Anderson poked away. DJ Costa will come in. He's pressed to the boards there by Joubert. Now Calvin Anderson back up the near boards. A lot of turnovers here in the early going. Anderson now with a chance. And it gets blocked away and up and out of play. As he was hit by Svensson as he was trying to get rid of the shot. So now Fatal for Boston will float in against Kawaguchi for Toronto. And Kawaguchi wins it back. Svensson to Thibault. Thibault up to Kawaguchi. They got a 3-on-2 brewing here. Jeremiah stops at the dot. They'll now go to the corner. They'll get it back to Kawaguchi. To the center to Johansson. Shot blocked away. Jeremiah will lose it in the middle there. Shot on net, and it's stopped by Sabel. Looked like it would have been Jeremiah with the shot. Kawaguchi in front, and a glove stopped by Sabel. Kawaguchi didn't quite get enough juice on that as the pass came from Olsen from the boards. Kawaguchi again against Vital. 1:17 left here in a scoreless first period here in Toronto. And it'll be one away by Boston initially, but now Kawaguchi to Olsen. Up to Johansson. Alexanderson stick breaks. Kawaguchi first one on it. To Johansson in the slot, blocked away. Olsen up to Kawaguchi at the point. He'll get it to Johansson. Over to Jeremiah. Jeremiah loses it for a sec. Backhand just goes wide. Olsen to Jeremiah. And it'll be a penalty here on Boston to finish out the period. A holding call on Shvital. So Evzen Shvital as he pressed Olsen to the boards and then just kept him there as the puck went free. So Toronto will head to the power play. Costa against Adolfsson with just 28.4 left here in the period. Costa back to Johansson, over to Marshall. Shot! Knocked down. Sabel makes the stop. Braun in the corner. We will fight there with Costa. Brandon Jordan comes in for support for Boston. And Jordan will get it, and he will get it out. It'll get to the opposite blue line with Svensson with 6 seconds left here in the period. Johansson up to Ostergaard. Costa now enters the zone with 3 seconds. Marshall slap shot just goes wide. And that'll end the period right there. So a scoreless first period here as Toronto and Boston do battle at the RBC Center in Toronto. So we're going to head to an intermission and be right back with you for the second period. All right. First intermission is over. We are back to Toronto as the Royals will be on a power play as we start the second period here. Minute 32 left on the power play. Kawaguchi wins the draw back to Olsen. Olsen will enter the zone, gets it knocked away. Ingolf Adolfsson will flip it out for Boston. First one on it is Olsen. Olsen up the far boards. He'll try to exit the zone, but is sticked away by Adolfsson. Adolfsson fights there with Olsen. Now Brandon Jordan will come free. Brandon Jordan with a shorthanded chance, and it's off the post. Thibault loses it back to Jordan behind the net. So Boston with the better opportunities here to start this second period. Now Kawaguchi will slide in. Get it up to Walter Arvidsson. Arvidsson across the red line, and now he'll enter the zone. Arvidsson loses it for a sec to Adolfsson. Adolfsson now will come free, and he'll flip it all the way down. First one on it is Olsen. He'll get it up to Kawaguchi, up to Thibault, to Arvidsson. Arvidsson, cross ice to Kawaguchi, couldn't make the catch. And now they battle there. Adolfsson will come out of there. And that will do it for the power play. We are back to 5-on-5, so another unsuccessful power play for the Royals. Arvidsson down to Kawaguchi behind the net. Jeremiah can't get the shot away. Gets it to Alexanderson. He'll lose it. Alexanderson over to Johansson. To Kawaguchi, and it looked like it's off the post there. Jeremiah with the behind the net. Kawaguchi can't get it out in front. It'll be Jeremiah again. Up to Johansson. Down to Jeremiah. Kawaguchi in the slot. Down low. Olsen. Oh, Arvidsson, can't get the shot away. Kawaguchi just goes wide. So good pressure here by Toronto. They're unable to keep it as Boston will get it out of the zone. And Toronto will go off for a change. At least a partial change. Johansson up to Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi to the red line. He'll dump it in and go off for a change. First one on it'll be Christensen. Christensen in the corner to Antonison. He's hit by Cousins. Brent Cousins with it behind the net. He comes out front, gets it blocked away. And then another shot attempt is knocked away by Boston. Jackson King enters the zone. Shot gloved by Belotis. So we are still scoreless here. Just over 4 minutes gone here in the second period. Svital against Fetisov. And we'll come away to Boston. Christensen hit there in the corner by Johansson. Christensen and Johansson will fight for it. Isaac Christensen tries to kick it out. And will finally come free to Svital. He'll get it up high. Antonison tries to get it down low, and it's picked up by Fetisov. Brent Cousins now for Toronto. Hit at the boards. At the blue line by Vinogradov. Antonison gets it up to Stevens. To O'Shea. Nick O'Shea gets hammered there by Johansson. Alexanderson to Johansson. Up to Medved. To Long. Darren Long comes in wide. Stops for a sec. Centers to Johansson, and it's blocked away out in front. Stevens to Antonison. He's unable to get it out. Medved back to Johansson, the defenseman. Costa behind the net. Long hole hammered there by Antonison. Calvin Anderson will now come free for Boston. Tries to get to the middle. King, Stevens, and it's knocked away. Belotis with it there, and he will hold. So we'll see Abraham against Marshall in the dot now. Abraham wins it back to Backlov. Tipped-in shot blocked down by Belotis. Good blocker stop there by the Latvian goaltender. Back to the face-off dot. Abraham and Marshall will go at it again. Abraham again wins it back. Bogran to Petrik. He'll lose it in front. Tipped in. Oh, and just kicked out by Belotis. It'll come free to Thibault. Marshall now. It'll be with Abraham. He'll flip it down low. Tipton up to Abraham. Abraham to Petrik. Over to Backlov. Abraham down in the slot. Just goes wide. Svensson away with it for Toronto. Svensson will lose it there. Abraham now cutting in. He'll flip it down low to Tipton. Shot stopped by Belotis. Good glove stop there, and he will hold it. So we cross the 12-minute mark here of the second period. Anderson now will float in. Get ready for the face-off against Marshall. Anderson wins it back to Backlov. He can't get the shot away. Battle for it there along the boards, and Arvidsson will come free. Going to be a penalty here on Boston. I believe they're going to call it on Backlov for a charge. It'll go behind the net, and they will touch up there with Braun. So we'll see the penalty here. Interference on Josiah Stevens. So excuse me, I just saw in the corner there was a big hit. Thought that was the call, but they're actually going to call Josiah Stevens for interference there. Yeah, didn't really see a ton there. They were still, the puck was near and they were battling for it, but either way, it's going to be a Toronto power play for the next 2 minutes. So Kawaguchi and Adolfsson. Kawaguchi wins it back. Arvidsson in the slot, down low. Jeremiah can't get it through. Arvidsson to Olsen. Tries to get it down low to Kawaguchi, and it's picked off. It'll go all the way down. Olsen to Thibault. To Arvidsson. Up to Jeremiah. Jeremiah will lose it for a sec. He'll try to get it down low, and Jordan picks it off and gets it out. 30 seconds gone here on the power play. Olsen to Kawaguchi. Up to Arvidsson. To Thibault. To Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi's shot gets blocked away. Adolfsson will flip it out. First one on it will be Thibault. He'll get it up to Ostergaard. Ostergaard will turn back, get it up to Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi will enter the zone. We'll get it to Arvidsson. Shot. Stop there. And Kolar will take it away from danger. Arvidsson almost beating Benny Sobel there. Olsen with it behind the net for Toronto. 30 seconds left here on the power play. Thibault will get it up to Ostergaard. Ostergaard to Costa to Marshall. Shot gets blocked away and goes wide. Vinogradov on it. Up to Adolfsson. Adolfsson will get it out of danger. 15 seconds left here on the power play. Marshall will turn in his own zone. Get it up to Costa. DJ Costa enters the zone. Costa down low to Ostergaard. Hits it off the side of the net. Costa. We are back to 5-on-5. Oh, and it just goes wide. Sobel swimming in his net a little bit. Dale Kolar will come away. He'll turn it over there near the blue line. Ostergaard now with it for Toronto. He'll flip it down low. Vinogradov, the first one on it. He's pressed to the boards by Marshall. Fetisov tries to dig it out, and it comes free to Jackson King. King hit there. Demian Fetisov up to Peter Alexanderson. To Johansson at the point. Shot off the post. It'll come free to Allard. Alexanderson down in the slot. Johansson. Fetisov. Shot gets blocked away. Up to Alexanderson. Down to Allard. Allard shot scores! So it's Lane Allard with a first goal here for Toronto. It comes over halfway into the game. That'll be set up by Peter Alexanderson and Cade Marshall. So a big goal there puts Toronto on the board and gets them up 1-0 here in the second period. Kawaguchi now looking to fire back with Toronto. Try to get it down low to Jeremiah, and it squirts free. Stevens loses it to Alexanderson. Johansson will be tripped there by King. So another Toronto power play at the 7:06 mark here of the second period. Just with his, gets his stick in between the legs of Johansson as he's trying to go for the puck. So top unit out here for Toronto. It'll be against Calvin Anderson. One back by Kawaguchi to Svensson. Svensson glove stop by Sobel. Backlov will get it out of the zone. First one on it is Johansson. He'll get it all the way up to Arvidsson. Arvidsson now at the blue line. He'll stop, look for play, and can't make it. Anderson, first one on the puck and gets it out. 30 seconds gone on the power play. Svensson up to Kawaguchi, up to Jeremiah. He'll enter the zone, and he's belted by Backlov. Anderson, the first one on it. And Vlatko Petrik, the Romanian for Boston, will get it out. Johansson up to Arvidsson. Arvidsson will enter the zone. Stops. Picked off by Anderson. Looking to center there to Jeremiah, and it was picked off. First one on it is Anderson. He beats everyone down. Shot in front. Petrik. Oh, and it goes off the post. So two opportunities there by Vlatko Petrik, and he's unable to put one away. Another penalty here on Boston. Oh, my goodness. So Boston shooting themselves in the foot as a slash to Calvin Anderson. So two of their top liners, Anderson and King, find themselves sitting it out. Here as Toronto will go 5-on-3 for a little bit. They will go with their second unit here for 38 seconds on the 5-on-3. Marshall to Thibault, over to Ostergaard. Finn Ostergaard in the slot, tries to get it down low, and Antonison will pick it off and flip it out. 25 seconds left here on the 5-on-3. It'll be Thibault up to Olsen, up to Marshall. Marshall will get it up to Ostergaard. Finn Ostergaard enters the zone. Costa with room, shot! Blockered away by Sabel. Will be gloved out of the air by Antonison. Costa now with it behind the net. He'll lose it to Antonison, and Schvatal will get it out. So now we are back to just a single man advantage, 5-on-4 here. King tries to chase it down with Olsen. Costa now up to Marshall. Cade Marshall already with an assist in the game today. Down to Ostergaard. Marshall shot gets blocked away. And it'll be Ostergaard on it. To Marshall. To Olsen. Costa backhand goes up and over the net. Might have been tipped by the glove of Sabel. Marshall now down low. Costa scores! So Marshall sets up another one as he sets up DJ Costa for the power play goal. Thibault will also get the assist. So now a 2-0 lead here at the 4:30 mark of the second period. Boston now in dire straits, needing one here. Needing the next one for sure. Arvidsson to Alexanderson. He'll get it poked away for a second. Now Adolfsson will come up with it for Boston. He'll get it wide to Cherry. Nolan Cherry to Adolfsson. Shot glove by Belotis. And he will keep play going. Gets it up to Alexanderson to Cousins. Cousins will stop. Now Fetisov, they got a 2-on-1. Down low, Allard. Oh, and just gets it poked away by Backlov. Cousins now with it. He'll get to the slot. Shot. Scores! This one is Brent Cousins. So the depth scoring of Toronto showing out big here is Brent Cousins set up by Lane Allard and Demian Fetisov. Yes, the depth of Toronto showing here as Boston unable to solve Zigmar's Belotis to this point. Fetisov bodied there by Antonison, and he will hold it there. Will be Belotis as it comes on net. Kawaguchi will take on Abraham in the dot. 2:52 left here in the second. Kawaguchi wins it back to Johansson. Johansson will turn in the corner, get it up to Alexanderson. Turned over. Barry Tipton now in the high slot. He'll come down low and he'll get it knocked away. Bodied there by Olsen. It'll be Tipton. Tries to get around Kawaguchi and can't quite. Kawaguchi now will come free. It'll be Olsen. Olsen tries to get it down low and gets blown up there by Joubert. Petrick to Abraham, up to Joubert. Under 2 minutes left here. Tipton bodied there by Alexanderson. Kawaguchi to Johansson to Olsen. Olsen will go for a skate. He'll get to the red line and dump it in. First one on it is Kolar. He's blown up by Jeremiah. As he trips over Kolar there a little bit. Joubert is able to swoop in and get the puck away. King hit to the boards there. Alexanderson cross ice to Johansson. He'll stop, retreat, get it to Olsen. Olsen up to Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi with room. Victor Kawaguchi to Olsen. Shot! Stopped by Sabel. Jeremiah now with it behind the net. He'll stop, turn. Tries to get out in front and can't quite. Sabel had it free there for a second. He will hold. As Kawaguchi was lurking, and then Jeremiah right in behind him. Ready to pick something up and put it in the back of the net. Toronto here at home up 3-0. Just 22 seconds left here in the second period of the first of our 2 Friday night games here for the PIHANA. And Tonison for Boston. He'll turn. Try to get it up ice. He'll get it to Stevens. Stevens has room. A little bit of time. Anderson in the slot. Gets the shot away and it's stopped by Belotis. Alexanderson gets it away from danger, and that will end the second period. So one final good chance for Boston to try to make it a 2-goal game, but they are unable to. So we entered the period tied at 0. We leave the period with Toronto up 3-0 on the Boston Yachts here at home. We're going to take a quick break and then be right back with you for a fun and exciting third period of action from Toronto. All right, folks, we are ready to get right back to action. Toronto entering the third period up 3-0 on the visiting Boston Yachts. We will have top line against top line out here. Kawaguchi against Anderson in the dot. And Anderson will win it back for Boston. Stevens loses it there, and now he gets it right back. He'll get it to Braun. Braun will walk down. Shot! Stopped by Belotis. Kawaguchi, first one on it. He'll come free of Stevens. Johansson in the corner. He's pressed to the boards by Anderson. Anderson gets it out front, and it'll be picked off by Victor Kawaguchi. Leif Olsen now. Looking to enter the zone, he'll flip it down. First one on it will be Backlov for Boston. He's pressed to the boards there by Jeremiah. It'll come free. Tries to get it out front to Kawaguchi, and it's picked off. Stevens at the dot. Knocked off there. Kawaguchi will get it up to Johansson. Johansson will turn in his own zone. Almost turns it over. He'll get it to Alexanderson. Alexanderson on the wing to Kawaguchi. Shot! Stop! Knocked down! And Olsen couldn't get a shot away. King now up with it. King enters the zone. He'll try to center, and Jeremiah will pick it off. He'll get it up to Kawaguchi. The defenseman for Boston were to change, so a little bit of a breather there. Kawaguchi presses Antonis into the boards, and it comes free to Vinogradov. Christensen up to Svital. Svital will be pressed to the boards there. Christensen loses it to Alexanderson. Cade Marshall. Ostergaard, Finn Ostergaard, shot! Stopped by Sabel, and he will hold right there. So Benny Sabel, a crucial save to keep Boston in this game and at least feel somewhat attached. Boston, it is important for them to get that next goal, get it to a 2-goal game, and see if they can flip the script here on the Royals at home. Marshall against Cherry, and Cherry will win it back to Vinogradov. Vinogradov will turn. He'll get it to Antonison. Antonison to Cherry. Cherry. Shot! Knocked down, shot! Oh, and a rebound goes awry as Johansson able to blow that play up. Jordan presses Alexanderson to the boards. It'll come free to Arvidsson. Toronto. Now with it still in their own zone, trying to get it out. Ingolf Adolfsson to Nolan Cherry. He's bodied there. Will stay in the zone with Vinogradov. Cherry had room but couldn't get a shot away. Marshall up to Allard. Cross ice to Arvidsson. Arvidsson will enter the zone for Toronto. 2-on-3. Arvidsson shot blocked by Sabel. Vinogradov up to Tipton. He'll retreat in his own zone. Antonison tries to get it out and can't. Allard on the forecheck. Down low for Fetisov. Oh, and gets it on net, but not a ton of power. I think he had more time than it looked like. He tries to get a shot away quick and doesn't get a ton on that. I think if he stops, allows himself to get under that puck, he's able to put it by Sabel, but he tries to get it off quick, and they score anyway! Forget what I say. Lane Allard now with his second goal of the game, as it is set up by Cousins and Svensson. So 4 depth goals, 2 by Allard, 1 by Costa, and 1 by Cousins, as it has been the bottom 6 for this Toronto Royal team that has done the damage here against Boston. They now have 4 goals in. Allard looking for the hat trick. Can't get it through. Lane Allard up high to Thibault. Down to Allard. Allard to Fetisov. Can't get the shot away. Braun will pick it off. Will be pressed to the boards there by Svensson. Fetisov now away with it. Up to Cousins. Cousins enters the zone. Stops for a sec. Gets it back to Svensson. Down the slot. Oh, and it just goes wide. Sabel did not see that one. Svensson had him beat but couldn't get it on net. Backlov up to Anderson. Anderson. Shot gets knocked away. It'll be Cousins. He's bodied in the corner by Petrick. Anderson now almost trips over as Cousins still trying to get up from the hit. Cousins will get it free to Thibault. Up to Svensson. Svensson up to the blue line. Kept in by Jeremiah. Jeremiah now turned it over. He'll have it in front. Olsen can't get the shot on net, and Sabel will hold it there. 11.5 left here in the third period. Toronto so far with a dominant 4-0 performance here. Game was scoreless after one period. Toronto in the last 29 minutes or so has put up 4 on the Yachts here. Anderson now up with it. He has room. Stevens gets it blocked away to the corner. Sigurdsson will have it. Have not said his name much tonight, the third pair defenseman. King up to Anderson, to Backlov, to Grahn. It'll be Stevens to the point with Backlov. Grahn in the corner. Down to Anderson. And they'll be pressed to the boards there. Anderson comes free. Oh, and he loses it to Olsen. Looks like Olsen just got a skate blade on it to keep Anderson from getting to the middle. Kawaguchi presses Backlov. Now they'll still fight for it. Backlov pushes Kawaguchi away. Kawaguchi now comes free. In front, Jeremiah can't get it by Sabel. Sabel will keep play going. Stevens up to Schvital. Schvital to King. Shot, stopped by Belotis, and they score! So a rebound given up, and it'll be Esmond Schvital. Buries the goal past Ziggy Belotis to get Boston on the board here, set up by King and Stevens. Marshall against Vital. It'll be Christensen who will come away with it for Boston. Gets it up to Vinogradov. 9 minutes left, a 3-goal game. So crucial for Boston to get one here in the next couple minutes. O'Shea out in front. Vinogradov now to Antonisen. Shot. Oh, just goes wide. Don't believe Belotis got a glove on that. Christensen tries to get it down low and can't get it through Johansson. It'll be Walter Arvidsson. He'll get to the red line. Look to enter the zone. He'll have it in the corner. Out front, Ostergaard knocked away. Believe Sabel got a piece of that. Comes free to Vinogradov. Now to Christensen. O'Shea trying to come with speed. He can't get by Alexanderson though. Schvital behind the net. Alexanderson out in front. Will get it. Arvidsson to the blue line. Ostergaard shot. Stop there. Ostergaard tries to get it through to Arvidsson. Arvidsson does get a shot on, but Sabel will hold it there. Just under 7.5 left here in the third. 4-1 game here in Toronto. Toronto scoring 4 straight before Boston finally getting on the board to end the shutout. To make it a 4-1 game, Cherry will kick it to the corner to Jordan. Antonisen to Adolfsson. Adolfsson gets to the blue line and gets it in deep. First one on it is Alexanderson for Toronto. It'll come free to Costa. Costa to Medved. Medved hit there by Adolfsson. It'll be DJ Costa on it. He'll turn in his own zone and flip it cross rink to Alexanderson. Now Johansson, the defenseman, out leading the rush. Costa to Medved. Stopped by Sabel. Alexanderson tries to get a shot on net and can't get it through. And now a power play again coming up for Toronto, as we will have an interference call against Olav Antonisen. Trying to knock over Costa there. So now Toronto on the power play. They're just 1 of 5 here so far today. Kawaguchi will take on Anderson in the dot. Anderson wins it back to Backlov. He's pressed there by Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi tries to get it through Sabel and can't squeak it through the 5-hole. Looked like he might have had Arvidsson on the weak side if he had enough time to get the pass over. Kawaguchi against Anderson again. Kawaguchi wins it back. Olsen to Thibault. And Petrick will pick that one off. Trying to get it through. Flipped all the way down. Kawaguchi, the first one on it for Toronto. Up to Arvidsson. Minute 30 left here on the power play. Arvidsson loses it for a sec. He'll retreat. Thibault blocked. Like it was blocked by his own teammate in Kawaguchi. And Petrick will get it all the way down. Minute 20 left on the power play here. Thibault turns it over to Anderson. Anderson shorthanded. Gets blocked off there by Kawaguchi. Thibault to Arvidsson to Kawaguchi as Arvidsson gets blown up there. Kawaguchi with room. He's hit by Joubert as he gets it deep. Flipped up out of the zone again. 45 seconds left here. Olsen gets it up to Marshall. Marshall. Shot! Pad save there by Sabel. Costa now to Ostergaard. Ostergaard will have it behind the net. He'll get it out front to Thibault. Thibault picked off. Backlov flips it out of the zone. It'll be picked up there by Olsen. He'll turn near the boxes there. It'll be Backlov on it for Boston. He'll backhand flip it down. And that should just about do it for the power play here as we tick down to 6 seconds. Petrick now with it. He'll flip it down low again. Anderson with it. We are back to even strength. Joubert to Petrick. Shot! Stopped by Belotis. It'll be Marshall. Under 4 minutes left here in the third. Ostergaard across the line. Tries to get to the middle. It'll get to Thibault. Shot blocked off. Ostergaard just goes wide. Joubert, and we will have another power play. Another interference call. This one on Sasha Backlov. They're going to call that interference as he was hitting behind the play there. So now this top unit back out again. 3:30 left here in the third. Kawaguchi wins it back to Johansson, to Arvidsson. Down low, shot. Kawaguchi first one on it. He'll get it up high to Johansson. Shot. Blocked away. And Tonison now on it for Boston. He's pressed to the boards there by Arvidsson. Jeremiah and Arvidsson fight for it there. It'll come free. Dale Kolar up to Adolfsson. Adolfsson cutting in wide. Kolar gets his shot blocked, and Belotis will get play going again. Svensson up to Arvidsson. Arvidsson at the red line. Arvidsson down low to Kawaguchi. Up to Jeremiah. Up to Johansson. Over to Arvidsson. Now to Svensson. Johansson shot. Blocked away by Sabel. Johansson stopped there by Kolar. He blocked it away. Minute left here on the power play. Kolar will get free of Kawaguchi. Up to Jordan. Brandon Jordan. Oh, bodied there. Jeremiah first one on it. He'll get it up to Svensson. Svensson cross ice to Arvidsson. Walter Arvidsson cutting in wide to Kawaguchi. Stopped by Sabel. Shoots it right into the chest of Benny Sabel. Costa now against Abraham. Costa will win it back. Marshall, shot. Stop there. Sabel will get it out to Grahn. Grahn will come away with it to Christensen. Under 2 minutes left here in the third. 20 seconds left on the power play. Olsen up with it for Toronto. He'll get it to Costa at the red line. Costa probing, gets it to Ostergaard. Tries to get it on net. Joe's just wide. It'll be Olsen up at the point. Ostergaard slap shot goes off the post and will carry him up and out of play. Might have been blocked out in front as well, but it looked like it ricocheted off the post. Fetisov against Anderson. Minute 25 left here in Toronto. Fetisov will kick it back. Johansson to Alexanderson, to Johansson again. Cousins walks down the wall. Backlov, now Fetisov up with it. Johansson, cross ice to Alexanderson. Down low, Fetisov, shot gets blocked away. Anderson up to Stevens. Stevens comes in across the line. Stevens loses it to Alexanderson. Cousins will retreat back with it. 45 seconds left here. And what looks to be a Toronto win to put them just a game back of their rivals from Montreal. Johansson, shot gets knocked away by Sabel. So that loss on opening night by Toronto, right now the one that's keeping them out of first place with a 5-2 loss to Montreal. 30 seconds left here. Alexanderson gets it up to Fetisov. Fetisov will turn, get it to Allard, and he will be tripped up there. So Jackson King will be called for the trip with just 26 seconds remaining in the game. Boston and their parade to the penalty box. It has not hurt them in the sense of Toronto's only gone 1 of 7, I believe, to this point. But it has hurt them. They have not been able to get a rhythm going. Costa will take the draw against Abraham. It will be won by Boston with just 20 seconds left here. Kolar will flip it up and out of the zone. It'll ride the dasher there. Abraham and Thibault will fight for it. Thibault bodied there by Abraham. Just 10 seconds left. Toronto looking to wind this clock. Ostergaard to the red line. Costa will enter the zone. He'll stop there. Turned it over to Vinogradov. It'll be out in front. Kolar will have it, and that will do it from Toronto. So a 4-1 victory as the Royals get another win here at home. Boston, another disappointing performance as they find themselves, again, near the bottom of that American division, sitting at 1-4, just 3 points on the season. And Toronto at 4-1 finds themselves second place in the Canada division, only trailing the Mammoths of Montreal. Toronto also has the second best goal differential in the league, now sitting at a +9 on the season. Boston with that loss matches Chicago with a -5 differential and finds themselves just 1 win ahead of the Lakers at this point in the season. So that is it for us from Toronto. We'll be right back with you for post-game coverage. If not, our second game of the evening will be the Chicago Lakers headed into New York to take on the New York Empire. So you can head on over to that game, or we'll be right back with you for post-game coverage. All right, folks, welcome back to Toronto in the RBC Center as the Toronto Royals knock off the Boston Yachts 4-1 here in Toronto. Sorry, we'll look at the team stats first. My fault. Toronto definitely outpacing Boston with shots on goal at 39. Boston only getting 24. Boston does out-hit them, but I think some of those hits led to a few of the power plays as you scroll down. 16 penalty minutes given up by the Yachts, only 2 by Toronto early in the game. So Boston, and that's kind of been the theme for Boston, they have not drawn a lot of penalties in the early part of this season. They go 0 of 1. Toronto goes 1 of 8, so not great on the power play was Toronto, but it was, and we'll show this in the team stats or in the individual stats, it was the depth of that Toronto scoring. As we see here, Allard with 2 goals and an assist, Cade Marshall with a very good performance, 2 assists, Brent Cousins a goal and an assist as well. Then Thibault, Alexanderson, Fetisov, Svensson all with assists, and DJ Costa with a goal as well. So you see that top line of Kawaguchi, Jeremiah, and Olsen unable to really do anything. They end up with a -1 on the night. Johannes Johansson with a +2, Sigurdsson and Bowman -1s, but it is the depth right there of Toronto. As you look at Allard, Marshall is a second liner, so it's a little different, I would say, with him, but Allard, Cousins, you have defensemen like Alexanderson, Fetisov, Svensson, and Costa, all with goals and a pretty dominating performance. Especially you look at Allard and Fetisov at the top there, all with +3s as well. Alexanderson with 5 hits in the game, and Svensson adding up 4 as well. Leif Olsen with 3, and Johannes Johansson picking up 6 hits in the game today, as Johansson also with a +2 down at the bottom there. So that will be for the skaters. Now to the goalie, another shining performance from Ziggy Belotis. Didn't have to face much, only 24 shots against, but he stops 23 of them, only giving up the 1 goal, coming up 1 goal shy of getting his second shutout on the season to total up to a .958 save percentage. And now Boston Yachts. Not much to talk about other than the 1 goal. Shvital gets the goal with the assist from King and Stevens. Anderson goes pointless. Baklov, Gron, Vinogradov, everybody pointless. Let's see, the minuses: Baklov a -2, Gron a -1, Vinogradov, Kolar, Jordan, Adolfson, and then Tipton, Petrick, Abraham, all minuses there for Toronto. So that'll do it for our coverage here from Toronto. We will send you out to New York as the Chicago Lakers look to pick up their first win against the New York Empire. Thanks for joining us, folks.